Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to my review of tonight's edition of SmackDown. And I thought tonight's show, was much better than Sunday's Money in the Bank show. Uh, much better than the piece of shit that we saw on Sunday. But was it a good show tonight? No, in my opinion. But it was, like I said, much better than Money in the Bank. But if you haven't checked out my previous video, which I unboxed the Alexa Bliss payback plaque, be sure to check out that video. So be sure to check out that video if you haven't gotten a chance to watch it today. Yeah, on to the SmackDown review. The show opened with Becky, Natalya, Charlotte, and Tamina outside Daniel Bryan's office. Daniel says that he must listen first to Carmella and James Ellsworth, which, to get their whole take on, what happened, what they did in the Women's Money in the Bank match. And then it leads to, of course, Carmella and James Ellsworth coming out. Ellsworth says, what's the matter with the crowd, and he tells them to stand up and applaud Carmella. Carmella then gets on the mic and says that, she doesn't care what the people in social media are saying about her, about her win, what happened at, Money in the Bank. And, she goes on to talk about Natalya, Tamina, Charlotte, and Becky, just trash talking about them. She calls herself intelligent, and that she says that she won the match fair and square. And then, we see the crowd booing her. She calls the crowd pathetic because the fans complain about what happened at Money in the Bank with Ellsworth just retrieving the briefcase and dropping it down to her. And, the fans complain, and now Daniel Bryan is hurt, and he has to question whether, he has to question about whether she should hold the briefcase or give it up. So it was a decent segment. Carmella was decent on the mic. She cut a really decent promo in the ring, just talking about her winning the Women's Money in the Bank match. Just got it gave her it gave the crowd just boos to her. Gave her some decent heat. Some decent heel heat. But that's really funny that Big Cass last night delivered a really good heel promo to Enzo, and then his girl Carmella just gave a decent promo tonight. It's really cool. But all in all, it was a decent segment. And then we had Charlotte coming into Daniel's office. She's telling Daniel that he should do the right thing and, take the Money in the Bank, the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase from Carmella. Then after that, we had New Day coming out, and they're just talking about the Usos. And, they said that, they jailbroke out of the match on Sunday, and then just walked away. Carly walked away from the match, and New Day said that they wanted the Usos to step into their playpen, and then it eventually leads into the first match. It was Big E versus Jimmy Uso. It was a okay match, back and forth action between Big E and Jimmy Uso. One point in the match, you had Jey Uso and Jimmy, both the Usos. They were trying to get away and walk out again, but Kofi made the save and jumped right onto Jey Uso, which gave Big E the opportunity to get the win on Jimmy Uso with the big ending. So it was an okay match. Nothing perfect or great. And then after that, we had Natalya and Tamina coming to Daniel's office. Just them, trying to get Daniel to make the right decision. So it's pretty much that. Just all the women in that match, trying to get Daniel to make the perfect decision and take the briefcase away from Carmella. And then after that, we had Naomi being interviewed about the outcome of the Women's Money in the Bank match. Naomi says that she is confident that Daniel will make the right decision, and that she's ready for anyone who is in the Women's Money in the Bank. Whoever challenges Naomi and cashes in the briefcase. Now we have Lana. Lana comes and says that she wants to challenge Naomi to a rematch. Naomi says that she beat Lana fair and square on Sunday and she felt her glow. And Lana tells Naomi that Naomi tells that she's going to give her another chance next week. So the rematch is going to happen next week between Lana and Naomi for the title. So, but yeah, it was a decent interview with Naomi. And then after that, we had Tom Phillips interviewing Orton about him and Jinder's match at Money in the Bank. Orton is just very furious in this interview. Orton goes on to say that he wants to hurt Jinder bad and the Singh brothers really bad, and that there is no turning back. And he then goes on to talk about say that Jinder crossed the line on Sunday, and that he's going to travel to India and RKO all of Jinder's family members because Jinder disrespected his family. Because what we saw on Sunday, the Singh brothers would, talking trash to Cowboy Bob Orton, Randy's father. So, and just, attacking him. But it was a pretty okay interview with Randy Orton. And then after that, we had basically a Backlash rematch. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler. Was a decent, entertaining match. Just Nakamura going at it. Was good in the match. Dolph, was dominating through parts of the match. But in the end, Shinsuke got the win with the Kinshasa to Dolph to score the win. So now Nakamura is 2-0 against Dolph. So, but all in all, it was a decently good match. Then after that, we had Sami and Daniel Bryan backstage. Daniel makes a match for Sami. It's going to be Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin next week. And then, Becky Lynch comes, and Sami says to her that she got robbed in the Money in the Bank match. And, it's just Becky Lynch just trying to tell Daniel to make a right decision. Just what all the women in that match are doing tonight to Daniel. Then we had Kevin Owens coming out talking about the Money in the Bank match, and he goes on to say that the only reason he doesn't have the briefcase is because the participants attacked him, and he says that he was a dangerous man in that match, and he ends up having an open challenge for anybody in the area from Dayton, Ohio, which that's where the show was tonight. He ends up making a match for a local. He issues an open challenge for the U.S. title. Then AJ Styles ends up coming out saying to Owens that he is going to beat him for the U.S. title. Kevin Owens says, Styles is not a local from, that area from Dayton, Ohio. Then Chad Gable from American Alpha comes out, which really happy to see, American Alpha back after quite a while. They've been, gone since, losing the titles to the Usos. But Chad Gable ends up coming out. Owen says to him that he's not from Dayton, Ohio, but Chad says he just moved to the area. And eventually leads to, the match, Kevin Owens versus Chad Gable. It was a decently good match. Uh, back and forth action between Chad and Owens. Uh, Chad Gable was dominating through the match, but Kevin Owens came back and just dominated the match. But in the end, Kevin Owens got the win, retains the title, the U.S. title, with a pop-up powerbomb to Chad Gable. So, but it was a decently good match. Then we had after that we had Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder with Daniel Bryan. Uh, Mojo says to Daniel that now since the Hype Bros are back, they want an opportunity. They want an opportunity, a title opportunity. And then Daniel makes a match saying that next week they will be in a match. The Hype Bros will be in a match facing the Usos. So, and that's that's for their title opportunity that they possibly might get. So, but it was a pretty decent little segment with Mojo and Zach and Daniel. Then after that, we had Daniel Bryan coming out for the decision about the women's Money in the Bank situation controversy. He brings out all the women who were in the match on Sunday. Ellsworth then, goes on to and then makes fun of Daniel's baby girl, and he tells Ellsworth that if he says anything more about his baby girl, he would beat him and fire him. And then all the women start talking smack, back and forth to each other, and they're referencing that any of them will look like Ellsworth, which is funny. And then Daniel then makes the best decision. He takes the briefcase away from Carmella because Ellsworth was holding it. Takes the briefcase away, and then he says that next week they're going to have a rematch, a Women's Money in the Bank rematch, and all of them will compete again. And it was announced that on Talking Smack that Ellsworth is banned from the match, from ringside there. Then Daniel leaves, and as soon as he leaves, all the women start taking out each other. Both they go after Carmella. So, but I have to say Daniel made a good decision. I really do wish that Carmella would win the Women's Money in the Bank match again, just by herself, and not help from Ellsworth. So just have her win it again, and just take the briefcase off and by herself. So, but yeah, next was the main event. It was Jinder Mahal versus Luke Harper. It was okay main event, just to make Jinder look more strong. You had the Singh brothers interfering in parts of the match. Actually, towards the end of the match, you had Baron Corbin come out with the briefcase. Sorry about that, but I was saying Baron Corbin ended up coming out with the briefcase. He was just walking around the ring, just staring down at Jinder, because maybe Corbin has an idea that he's gonna go for if Jinder still has the title. So it'll possibly be, if Jinder still has the title, it's gonna be Jinder versus Corbin for a title, and Corbin's gonna cash it in and face Jinder Mahal. But in the end, Jinder Mahal got the win with the Colossus on Luke Harper. And then after the match, you had Randy Orton come out, and he starts going crazy. He starts taking out the Singh brothers, and he starts beating the hell out of Jinder like crazy. And it eventually led to end the show. So, but it was a cool little brawl that Orton did. Just taking out Jinder and the Singh brothers. So, but yeah. So, anyways, that's it for my review of tonight's edition of SmackDown. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned tomorrow night for my Lucha Underground review. So until tomorrow night, I'll see you all later. Bye.